Streaming giant Netflix.
The future of Netflix's ad business, a newer business that is very much in.
It is Netflix.
Netflix shares are moving higher in overtime, about 3.5%. The streaming giant saying in its earnings release that its ad membership was up 35% versus last.
In 1997, the world of business was buzzing with possibilities as the internet began revolutionizing how companies operated and customers shopped. Giants like Amazon, led by Jeff Bezos, were already exploring the potential of e-commerce, selling everything from pet food to baseball bats online. Amidst this innovation, two visionaries, Reed Hastings and Mark Randolph, decided to chart their own path. Hastings in particular had a unique idea: to build an internet-based business where customers would find them once and continue coming back repeatedly. This simple yet profound vision set the stage for a journey that would not only disrupt the entertainment industry, but redefine how people consumed content. Hastings and Randolph were firm believers in the potential of the internet, and they began brainstorming for months. They sifted through dozens of ideas, ranging from personal hygiene products to specialty retail. But nothing seemed to click until they turned their focus to a product most households were already familiar with: videotapes. Back in the 1990s, the entertainment landscape was dominated by physical media. Families would flock to their nearest Blockbuster store, especially on weekends, to rent movies. They would spend hours browsing rows of VHS tapes, carefully choosing the perfect movie for their night. The process was time-consuming, but for many, it was a cherished ritual. However, this experience wasn't without its frustrations. Blockbuster had built its empire not just on movie rentals, but on late fees. Customers who failed to return their tapes on time were charged heavily. For some, these late fees felt like a trap, a way for Blockbuster to squeeze extra money out of its patrons. One such frustrated customer was Reed Hastings. As the story goes, he was fined $40 for returning a movie late, a penalty that planted the seed for his groundbreaking idea. Hastings realized the video rental industry needed a massive overhaul. Why couldn't renting movies be more convenient, customer-friendly, and, above all, free of late fees? While the idea of online rentals was exciting, Hastings and Randolph faced a major obstacle: VHS tapes. The technology of the time was bulky, heavy, and fragile. Shipping VHS tapes was not only expensive, but also risky, as tapes could easily get damaged in transit. This logistical challenge threatened to derail their idea before it even got off the ground. Their fortunes changed a few weeks later when they stumbled upon an article in a tech magazine about a new technology: DVDs. Unlike VHS tapes, DVDs were lightweight, compact, and relatively durable. Moreover, they were cheaper to produce and ship. For Hastings and Randolph, DVDs represented a solution to their logistical nightmare. The duo quickly pivoted their business model to revolve around DVDs. Their plan was simple yet revolutionary. Customers would visit their website, choose the movies they wanted to rent, and receive the DVDs in the mail. A prepaid return envelope would be included with each rental, making it easy for customers to send the DVDs back. The system eliminated the need for physical stores and late fees, offering a level of convenience and transparency that was unheard of at the time. Launching this ambitious venture required money, and Hastings and Randolph had very little of it. With no major investors willing to back them, they had to get creative. They set up a low-budget office filled with folding tables and second-hand furniture. Employees were hired on low salaries with the promise of future stock options if the business succeeded. It was a lean operation driven by passion and a belief in their vision. Finally, on April 14, 1998, their website, Netflix.com, went live. Hastings and Randolph had installed a bell in the office that would ring every time an order was placed. The first order came from Randolph himself as a test. Moments later, a real customer placed an order, and the bell rang for the second time. By the end of the day, they had received 137 orders, a number that far exceeded their expectations, especially since the website experienced frequent crashes due to the unexpectedly high traffic. Despite this promising start, Netflix faced significant hurdles. In its first year, the company generated only $11,000 in revenue from rentals. Most customers preferred to buy DVDs outright rather than rent them. Netflix had offered both options. Customers could purchase a DVD for $25 or rent it for $4. But Hastings and Randolph were determined to focus on rentals, as they believed it offered better long-term profitability. Renting meant a single DVD could generate revenue multiple times until it was damaged. Selling DVDs, on the other hand, was a one-time transaction with limited margins. Hastings and Randolph had a clear vision of their business model, but convincing customers to embrace it was proving to be a daunting task. A missed opportunity and a bold gamble. As Netflix struggled to find its footing, it caught the attention of none other than Jeff Bezos. At the time, Amazon was expanding beyond books and saw potential in the DVD market. Bezos offered to buy Netflix for $14 to $16 million, a tempting offer for a fledgling company struggling to stay afloat. But Hastings and Randolph believed in their idea and turned Bezos down. It was a risky move, but one that would pay off in the long run. Around the same time, they approached BluckBuster with an even bolder proposition. They offered to sell Netflix to BluckBuster for $50 million. The CEO of BluckBuster, however, laughed them out of the room, dismissing Netflix as a minor player in an industry dominated by physical stores. For Hastings and Randolph, the rejection was a turning point. It fueled their determination to prove BluckBuster wrong. Revolutionizing the industry over the next few years, Netflix began experimenting with a subscription model. For a flat monthly fee, customers could rent as many DVDs as they wanted, with no late fees. The subscription model was a game changer. It provided Netflix with a steady revenue stream and eliminated one of the biggest pain points for customers: late fees. By the early 2000s, Netflix had gained a loyal customer base, and its growth was beginning to accelerate. But Hastings and Randolph weren't content to rest on their laurels. They knew the future of entertainment lay not in physical media, but in digital streaming. In 2007, Netflix introduced a video-on-demand streaming service, allowing customers to watch movies and TV shows online. It was a bold move, as internet speeds at the time were relatively slow and streaming technology was still in its infancy. But Hastings saw the potential for streaming to disrupt the entertainment industry in the same way DVDs had disrupted VHS tapes. The streaming service started small, with a limited selection of titles. But as internet speeds improved and streaming technology became more reliable, Netflix invested heavily in expanding its library. By the early 2010s, streaming had overtaken DVDs as the company's primary revenue source. While Netflix was innovating, BluckBuster was struggling to adapt. The company, once a behemoth of the entertainment industry, was slow to embrace digital technology. By the time BluckBuster launched its own DVD rental service, Netflix had already captured a significant share of the market. BluckBuster's failure to innovate ultimately led to its downfall. In 2010, BluckBuster filed for bankruptcy, marking the end of an era. The company that had once laughed at Netflix was now a cautionary tale about the dangers of complacency in a rapidly changing industry. The Netflix empire today. Netflix is a global powerhouse. With over 238 million subscribers worldwide, the company has transformed from a DVD rental service into a content creation giant. Its original programming, including critically acclaimed shows, has redefined what television can be. Netflix's journey from a tiny office with folding tables to a multi-billion-dollar empire is a testament to the power of innovation, resilience, and customer focus. It all began with a simple idea: to make renting movies easier and more convenient.
We've gone through a lot of changes, and we've always figured them out one by one. We lead by a significant margin in streaming, and streaming is continuing to grow around the world.
That idea grew into a revolution that changed the way the world watches entertainment.